Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So today is our project related to S3 and ec2 instances to enable each other and try to load a simple website on web page. So is our project is today is related to how to enable an ec2 instance to access file on S3 bucket. We will upload our file on S3 bucket, which is simple storage service on AWS cloud, and then we will use the same file and upload in ec2 instance, upload on ec2 instance, and then try to load that file on a web Apache server, and load that website on a web browser. So that's the today's project. Let's keep move forward and log into our account, AWS account, login AWS cloud account. So I am a root user, yes, and then my email is available here. Just log in, next, and then we have to give a password. If you have an enable multi-factor authentication, then you have to give the multi-factor authentication. Then you have to come inside your AWS account. So here you can see that we have different resources available over here. So which resources we are going to use? As you see in this picture, we are going to use S3 bucket to store the data, basically to store a file for this project, specifically for a website, a simple website. And then we will use an ec2 instance to access that particular file and try to upload that file on web browser by using Apache server as well. So let's keep moving, and click on S3 bucket and make your bucket first. So create bucket. We have to give a name to the bucket, and you can see that you have to give all the small letter for a bucket name. So my S3 web bucket, try to give any name as you want, and AWS region would be same for this project. Copy setting existing bucket. Yeah, object ownership should be ACL disable for this project. Block public access, you have to change this, and unclick block all public access, and then I acknowledge that the current setting might result in this bucket to access this publicly, and bucket versioning should be disabled for this project. Tags you can give, but not a need for this project. And then simply uh, you can see advanced setting as well, the loop disable, then simply create bucket. Yeah, so the bucket name is not unique, so try to change it a bit, and then it might be a unique name. So create bucket. Our bucket is now ready. You can see that public can be public, objects can be public. Yeah, which means that it's not fully public, but it is saying that objects can be public, like it is not in that method right now to access easily by public. So we have to do some settings. Firstly, let's move inside the bucket and try to upload some file which is basically for a website. So we will upload a file first. Add files, then select your file which you need to work on. My web 2. If you don't have this website for this project right now, I will definitely share the link on the description for you can use that code as well. So I have paste my file over here, and then I will simply upload it. Okay, as you see that upload successfully. So close it, and you can see that my file is now upload on S3 bucket. So I would like to check that it is publicly accessible or not. So simply go inside that file and copy the object URL and paste it on a web browser. Yeah, then you can see that it is either loading or not. So let's keep a bit wait for it. And you can see that it is taking a time, and it will unfortunately not load properly because we have to do some more settings in order to make this file publicly accessible. And since this file is not publicly accessible, you can see that it is giving us the error, access denied error. So we have to change some settings and make this file publicly accessible. So move again to your uh, bucket and go inside your bucket, and then come on that tab which is saying that permissions. Try to click on permissions, and then you can see that permission overview is saying object can be public. Like, it is not public right now, but we can make it to the public. So move below, and you can see that some settings is currently loading. So what we have to do is now move, like you can see that block of public access. Yeah, like block public access, block all public access off, individual block public access setting for this bucket. In this setting we have done previously, and we do not need to change it. And then you can see that edit bucket policy. Yeah, bucket policy. The bucket policy written in JSON provide access to objects stored in the bucket. A bucket policies don't apply to object owned by other accounts. Yeah, so we have to just simply edit this, and you can see that we have two options like pub policy example and policy generator. So we will use a policy where basically we generate a policy which is used to public our file, our S3 file. So we can easily access my file on web browser, and then we can then we can connect our S3 to ec2 instance to store that particular file. So let's generate the policy generator. you can see that AWS policy generator page is access over here. So we have to do some settings over here. Firstly, right in principal tab you have to simply add a star, and then AWS services you have to select S3 service for it, since our project is related to S3 bucket. So select actions and then select S3 bucket. Simply select your S3 bucket. From here, AWS services. I don't know why it's not. Yeah, firstly we have to select policy type, and then select policy type you have to select S3 policy. Okay, now you can see that AWS services by default Amazon S3. After selecting your S3 bucket, it will automatically generate AWS Amazon S3 over here. Then actions, you can select get object. You have to select get object function over here. Get object. So you can see that over here it is get object tab. Over here you have to select it in order to generate the policy. Then Amazon resource name, you have to put over here your S3 resource name, Amazon resource name. So move back to your S3 bucket. You can see that over here bucket ARN. You have to just simply copy this. After copying this, you have to paste it over here. So simply paste it, and then all actions, you must enter one or more principles. Okay, so select star in principles. Okay, then you can see that add statement is now available. You have to simply click on over here, then generate policy. You can see that it is now accessible. Simple JSON code. You have to just copy this code and go back to your MyS3 bucket, and policy you have to paste your code over here. Simply paste your code over here and try to save changes. You see that it's a bit error over here, so just fix that error. Just simply go towards resource section, and before ending, after one, you have to simply add slash and then star. Okay, now you have to again save changes, and now you can see that successfully edited bucket policy. So we have provided our bucket policy, which is used to perform an action to make our file publicly accessible easily. So it's now have done. So let's move toward our bucket again, and you can see that its access tab object can be public, but when we refresh it, it will be definitely changed right now. So you can see that we have refreshed this page, and now it should provide us that access is now public. Yeah, you can see that it is now public. Like when we uh, again refresh this page, or again we open this page, it will now not give us an error, and it will work correctly. So let's try and move toward inside your bucket, and then your file. Click on your file, and object URL, you have to copy that object URL and paste it on your web browser, and you can see the change right now. Your file is now publicly accessible. As you see that our file is now downloading, like it is working correctly, so it is now downloading. Yeah, so let me give some another file and try to access those file publicly. So let me give another file to our S3 bucket in order to perform an action and understand it well properly. Add files. Let me add another file, so which is definitely publicly accessible. Let me go move towards document section and try to find some file which is publicly easily available. So let's select index file over here, open it and upload it on S3, and then we will do the same action as we previously done. So you can see how it works. So index.html, try to copy object URL over here and then paste it to your web browser, and you can see that our website is now fully functional over web browser. Like you can see that it is not giving any kind of error, and it is a simple website which is now accessible on web browser. We will definitely shift this website on S3 to then ec2 instance. So that's the today's task is all about. So we just have created our S3 bucket, which is now publicly accessible. Our website is running on our S3 bucket easily. So now we can move this website on our ec2 instance as well. So then we just have to make an ec2 instance and try to connect with an ec2. So let's go towards an ec2 instance infrastructure and to make our ec2 instance as well. So you have to make your ec2 instance. So let's click on instance running and then launch instances as well. Then give it a simple name, any name you can give to your ec2 instance. So web web s3 instance. Yeah, I have given the name, and then select an operating system which we will use Amazon Linux for this project. So it is by default available Amazon AMI, which is free tier eligible, and we will use this same for the project. Architecture AMI ID, which is obviously by default it is available, and we will use this as well. And T2 instance type should be T2 micro for this project, and then we have to generate a key for accessing our ec2 instance and make some any key for you can give any name to your key. Let's me give a name which is pk1. You can give any name. So create key pair. I have created my key, and then we will go towards network setting portion, edit it and use some basic settings. VPC require, which is by default we will not use it. Another VPC and subnet no preference, auto assign public IP enable. So what we have to do is to change the security group my web s3 security group sg. Okay, I have changed the security group name, and you can see that inbound security group which is available by default is ssh, and source type is anywhere. So we have to give some another protocol for in order to publicly accessible our website. So add security group rules like http and https we have to give it in order to access it on web browser easily. So http, you have to select http and then source anywhere, and then you have to create one another protocol which is https for a secure purposes. So https you have to select it, and source type would be anywhere. Okay, now we can move further, and configuration setting root volume it is enough for our project. Advanced detail, you can see the advanced detail as well. We do not need to change any settings for this project right now. Just move further below and try to launch your instance. Simply launch your instance. It takes 2 to 3 minutes in order to launch your instance. View all instances, and you can see that our instance is now in pending mode, which is going to start in 2 to 3 minutes. You can see that our instance state is running, but status check is not running right now. It is initializing, so our instance is initializing right now, so we have to wait a bit right now. So as you can see that right now status check is now 2 by 2 check passed, so our instance is currently running right now. So we have to just connect to our instance, click on over here, and then simply connect. On moving this page you have to simply connect. So our ec2 instance is now connecting, and we can use our ec2 instance terminal easily right now. You can see that right now. So you have to simply just firstly use sudo su in order to get root access. So now you can see that dollar is not showing anymore, so I am a root user right now. So you can see that ls, there is nothing available over here in this ec2 instance right now. So first we have to upgrade our ec2 instance, and then we will do further tasks. uh, yum upgrade -y. So I have updated, and then I will update it as well. Yum update -y. Yeah, so I have update and upgrade. Now I have to install. Firstly, do clear it. I have to install Apache server over here. So yum install httpd -y. Yeah, so you can see that it is now installing our Apache server for us. You can see that it is showing complete, so our httpd server is now installed. So now we have to enable it firstly. So systemctl, you have to write systemctl enable httpd. Yeah, now it is now enable as well. So just give one another command, system start httpd, so it will start our httpd server. Systemctl start httpd. Yeah, so it is now fully functional. Our system httpd is now working correctly. So in order to check it is now working or not, simply use system status httpd. Command not found, so try to use some another command like yum status httpd. Not in, just me see what is the command right now. So simply use the command systemctl. Yeah, systemctl status httpd, and you can see that on active tab you can see that active running. So your Apache server is now running. You can check it as well by using your IP address. You can see that your Apache server is now fully functional and running right now. So go towards your EC2 instance and copy your public IP, and you can watch it over here. You can paste it and you can see that it works. Yeah, it works. So your Apache server is now working state. So let's move further. If you watch that, it is now actively running your instance. Yeah, httpd instance. Just simply try to refresh your terminal as well, so we can move further ahead. Just try to refresh it, and then we have to do some another task. Then you can see that it is again not the root user, so make it root user sudo su. And you know that we have absolutely done our httpd server. So our httpd server is now in running state, and we have previously make our s3 bucket as well, and we have upload our file, basically a web file, which is also available in our s3 bucket. So now we have to connect our ec2 instance to our s3 bucket. Since our s3 bucket is now publicly accessible, so we can easily get our s3 data inside our ec2 instance. So as you can see that we have uh, make our s3 bucket, which is now publicly accessible, and now we are going to get s3 bucket data inside to our ec2 instance. So we will give the command wget, and then we will give a link for s3 object, which is now our s3 bucket is in running state. So just go to word s3 bucket and select s3, and then try to copy your s3 bucket object object URL. So for that file, in order to get inside the ec2 instance, so select your ec2 s3 bucket file and then copy your object URL over here, which you can see myweb.2.pem, a file which have a simple code for a website. I will give this code file to the description so you can use as well, wget, and you have to simply paste that object URL over here and then enter. You can see that my web 2.pem 100% it is now downloaded inside our ec2 instance. You can ls over here and you can see that the file is now available over here. So what we have to do right now is to move this file towards an httpd folder. So currently we are on ec2 user folder right now, so we have to move this file towards another folder which is httpd folder. Firstly I have to show you which is available, that folder, where is that folder currently available. So let move over there, cd dot dot slash dot dot slash. So we are going backward to the root user point. So you can see that over here slash, so it is now root point. So we use ls over here and you can see that different folder available over here. So what we have to do is to move our file towards an ec2 user folder to the var folder here over here. So we have to firstly move towards var variable folder and then let me show you that how many things available over here. So cd var, move toward that folder and then ls. You can see that different folder available over here as well. So we have to firstly move towards var variable and then we have to move towards www folder. So cd www, you can see that which things available over here as well. ls, you can see that html folder available over here and then just move the over html folder as well. So you can see that ls, there is nothing available over here. So we have to move our file towards from ec2 user to the html folder over here. So that's basically required in order to host our website towards our web browser. So let me move again towards the root user and then do the same process in order to move our file towards an html folder. So cd dot dot slash dot dot in order to go backward slash and then enter. So I am now in variable folder and again cd dot dot slash in order to move backward position. And you can see that right now I am on a root position over here and then I can use ls. So we have a home tab over here, so we have to move towards home tab, cd home, and you can see ls, our ec2 instance available over here. So cd ec2 again, and you can see over there our file is available currently over here. So we have to move our file toward from ec2 user to the another folder which is firstly var folder and then www and then http folder. So we have to move our file. So let me move our file directly over there. So mv for move command and then my web page, my web2.pem, yeah, my file name, and then where we have to move our file from root user to var and then www and then html folder. Yeah, just use this command, and now our file is available towards an html folder. So we have to move toward an html folder as well. cd var then www and then html. Yeah, so I am you currently now available on html, and now I can see that ls, you can see that my file is available over here right now. Okay, so now I can see my file on a web browser easily by by a our instance id, public instance id, and we have to just move toward an ec2 and copy our public IP address for our ec2 instance, so that we can easily load easily can access our web page, which is now accessible on our ec2 instance. So you can see that my instance, which is running state, which whose name is web s3 instance. So try to move inside our instance and copy our public IPv4 address. Just copy it and paste it to another web browser. Now you can see that right now you have to do one time, uh, you have to refresh it in order to access your web page easily. You have to refresh it. So system ctl restart httpd. So now you have to move towards your public IP and paste it on web browser. It is again not working right now, so just await a little bit. It should work right now. So let me refresh our ec2 instance and then copy our public IP address and then paste it over here. It is again showing that it is working, but it is not showing our web page, web2 dot page. Yeah, I got my answer. What's the problem right now? Actually, I have pasted my web2.pem over here, so we need an index.html file over here in order to access on a web browser. So let me do some initial setting again. So cd, go towards home section and slash home slash ec2 user. So ls, you can see that uh, there is nothing available here. So wget, you have to do wget and give the another file, go towards s3 again, and actually we have previously give another file to our ec2 instance, so we have to use a file which is related to web file, so then it will work exactly. So you can see that index.html file is available here, so we have to give an index.html file link towards there. So wget, then give this link over here, paste it over here right now, then enter. You can see now it is available over here. ls, you can see that. So we have to move this file towards variable folder and then www and then html folder. So just move it quickly. So cd index.html, cd then index.html, html, and then var, then www, then html folder. Yeah, then hit enter, but it is saying that there isn't some error. So let me give again to this cd index.html. Then yeah, so we have to move this file. Yeah, so mv index.html, html, and then var, then www, then html. Yeah, now it's moved toward that folder. Then cd, then we have to move over there. So cd, then var, then www, then html. Yeah, so you can ls over here. Our index.html file is available over here as well. So firstly we have to remove my web file over here. So r and dash hyphen rf hyphen f, then my web. Okay, now unless there is only one file index.html over available over here. So now we have to check that it is now working or not. So move toward ec2 instance and copy that public IP again, and then move on our web browser. Now it should work properly because we have upload our correct file right now, so it should work right now. Just copy this public IPv4 and then paste it over here. As you can see right now that it is now accessible, our website is now fully functional, and you can see that our web page is now fully accessible easily right now. So this is today's project. Firstly we have created our S3 bucket, and then we have launched our EC2 instance, and then we have download the same file which was available to inside our bucket now, which is available to our EC2 instance as well. And we have download an Apache server httpd, and then install and some functions inside that web server, and now you can see that our website is fully functional from ec2 instance. So that's the today's mission all about. So I hope you have a better understanding how we can make our S3 bucket fully publicly accessible and connect towards our EC2 instance, so we can easily get S3 files inside our EC2 instance, and we can launch our EC2 our website on EC2 server, and we can do some another task as well. So we can make our public IP to the static IP, and we can use a route 53 in order to provide a particular domain and map it toward our EC2 instance, so we can do some another task as well. So but today's task is now ending. I hope you have a better understanding how we can do these things correctly. So that's today's project. Thanks for watching it, and kindly do share, subscribe, and like my channel. Thank you so much, and Allah Hafiz.